Back up, baby. Peace, peace. Salute News Channel 5, Nashville. Salute. Salute News Channel 5. I wanted to come on real quick. This is yours truly, G Pal. And I wanted to address something with y'all. Something that I saw online recently that really caught my attention. I said it's here. It's affecting Middle Tennessee. And since we are in Middle Tennessee, I felt like, I wanted to come on and address this, and I want to salute News Channel 5. All right. Salute to News Channel 5. For bringing light to this story. But the story says, here's who attended a white nationalist conference at a Tennessee state park. So apparently there was a white nationalist conference at a state park here in Tennessee, and it was in Burns, Tennessee. And, I lived in Burns, Tennessee for a little while. So that really got my attention. But this took place last week, and I don't even know if most people even know that this happened. And that's why I wanted to bring light to it, because y'all know, I feel like a part of my life work, right, is to bring light to things like racism, and inequality and injustice, social injustice, and, bring light to these things that help make the world a better place. Y'all know that's what I'm all about. And I couldn't believe that this took place right here in Burns, Tennessee, and right outside of Nashville in Dixon County. It's called the American Renaissance Conference. And News Channel 5 did a great job reporting on it. And what it is let's look at some of this together. Check this out. Check this out.
On this Monday, we're getting brand new insight about the guest list for an annual hate conference at a state park right here in Middle Tennessee. And we've now discovered it includes people who have celebrated political violence. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston. Carrie is off. The American Renaissance Conference has been coming to the area since 2012, yet not much has been known about the cast of characters who attend. That is until now. News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams was there 3 weeks ago when the conference returned to Montgomery Bell State Park in Dixon County. Phil is with us now, and I know you've been working hard to figure out who you were actually seeing come into that place, right?
That's right, which was not something that the conference organizers liked at all. As it turns out, there's probably a good reason.
If you're not here to celebrate and lift up love, what are you doing here?
Among the changing colors of the season, visitors came from across the country for a conference where the only color that really matters is white.
But because there are 200 or 300 people in that building over there that believe only they belong in this country.
Here at Tennessee's Montgomery Bell State Park, protesters were kept far from attendees at the American Renaissance Conference, an event that, as the protesters see it, represents the worst of the world of hate.
And we want our message of tolerance and acceptance to stand in stark contrast to what they're advocating for in there.
Exactly what they advocate inside the park's lodge is a closely guarded secret, as is the guest list, which is what led us to stake out the security checkpoint, standing in a public spot in a public park, where we found some attendees desperate to hide from our cameras. For this woman, it was an effort that required both hands.
It's my understanding that you would think. Let me go to this part right here real quick, right? Look at the end, right? All right, so check this out. Check this out.
outside the lodge. He later described the atmosphere inside that conference as one where it was anti-Semitism that really invigorated the crowd.
Yeah, the Jews are in control there. These kind of things. A lot of people cheered. Oh yeah, like good job, man, telling us the truth.
The podcaster said the National Alliance had a table set up where it was selling its materials, but American Renaissance insisted that the Turner Diaries be kept under the table out of public view.
Guys, you know what the reason was? These guys are neo-Nazis. These are Nazis. That was the answer. They are Nazis. That's why we don't do it. It's a Nazi book.
Mr. Taylor, hi, Phil Williams. That's a far different story from when I first met American Renaissance founder Jerry Taylor a year ago.
How about the neo-Nazis?
I don't even know a neo-Nazi. But inside the conference this year,
He said, well, that, what was his expression? That promotes violence and terrorism. Do you know that?
Gosman said Jerry Taylor privately insisted the group's Turner Diaries was a real problem. Which is why these protesters say what happens here inside this state park cannot be ignored.
This group kind of represents the worst of the worst. And I wanted to at least be out here to say that that's not the America that I grew up with. That's not the America that I believe in.
And we've also identified other people at the conference, including, get this, a Lutheran pastor from Southeast Alabama who has connections to what has been described as a neo-Confederate group. And to be
So, as you see, there was a neo-Nazi, white nationalist hate conference that took place right here in Montgomery Bell State Park in Burns, Tennessee, Middle Tennessee. First of all, I want to salute News Channel 5 once again. Thank you for reporting on that. I really appreciate News Channel 5. Phil Williams. News Channel 5, Phil Williams. I want to salute Phil Williams, News Channel 5, for doing this story, and I want to salute the whole staff of News Channel 5 because what they doing is important work. It's important work. So why am I doing this story right now? Why am I doing this live? I just want y'all to know that, y'all know I wrote the book NGR, What Does It Mean? Expose on the N-word, right? And y'all know a lot of the times I come on here and I talk about issues surrounding race and white supremacy, but I just want us to be aware of what's going on out here, because even though it's uncomfortable to talk about racism, it's uncomfortable to talk about white supremacy and address these topics. I know it's uncomfortable. It's not. A lot of people stray away from it because they don't want to rock any boats. They don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. But I used to live in Burns, Tennessee in 2022. And this is a white nationalist hate conference that people from all around the country and other parts of the world even came from to attend. And it took place in the same city that I was living in, right there in Burns. What am I supposed to do with that information? I tell you what, I become aware. I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm aware that racism and white supremacy does exist in Middle Tennessee, all around me. I'm aware that a lot of people are very quiet about it. I'm aware that these people who attend this conference, they see me as an op. They see me as an enemy. they are protected by people in high level position of power in Tennessee. I'm aware of that. So what do I do with that information? I'm aware of. I'm conscious. How do you think that makes me feel? Why do you think I write the book? I had some people tell me, try to discourage me when I was writing the book. I had some people accuse me of, in the past, I've had people accuse me of being racist or like a race baiter or something, what they call it now, because just to even talk about race, just to even write the book about the N-word, it's like, how dare me? But like I just showed y'all, there is a whole white nationalist racist conference that just took place last week right here. And thanks to News Channel 5, thank you, News Channel 5. I know about it, but who's talking about that? You can't, the thing is racism won't go away by osmosis. It won't just go away on its own. So we have to be aware that this exists and that this is happening. And we have to at least know what's going on so that we can be aware. And many of us are against this type of mentality and philosophies. Like News Channel 5, Phil Williams reports on hate groups. And every time there's something going on like that, like when the neo-Nazis marched downtown in 2024, right here in Nashville, they marched downtown. And Phil Williams reported on that. So, see, there's a lot of people who are against this mentality, who understand that we must erase racism, who are not with the program. It's a lot of people. And I want to give those people love and respect right now because they do exist and they are out there working for the people, fighting for freedom, justice, and equality. And I appreciate them. But yeah, y'all, these things are happening right here among us. And this is the only reason I'm really doing this live is for awareness, They had one of the biggest white nationalist conferences right here in Middle Tennessee last week. Did you know? Did you even know that happened? And see, I'm talking to everybody, no matter what your race is, because I know that the allies of justice and freedom come in all shapes, colors, sizes, religious backgrounds, and everything. And a lot of people are not with that. But, a lot of people don't know, well, what can I do? What can I do about it? And, one thing I think that we can do about it, other than becoming first, be aware. But I think that we can get organized. We could work with organizations, community organizations that fight for freedom and justice. And, because the thing is that if we don't show some type of resistance or some type of pushback, to that, they'll get comfortable and they'll think it's okay and they'll get comfortable. And, that's why I salute News Channel 5. Thank you, News Channel 5. Appreciate y'all for staying on top of that. And bringing these stories to light. But yeah, you know, I hope everybody takes from this live to just be aware. You know, there's people, you know, Black and indigenous people, non-white people dealing with a lot of racial injustice and these issues, because you got these people who attend these conferences like this one that just took place last week right here. They attend these conferences, then they go and they perpetuate racism in our society, and it affects us. And you know, I just hope that you get organized and join community organizations that fight against this stuff and speak out against it, support people when they experience racism, because clearly it exists, you know what I mean? But we don't live in fear and we don't spread hate, you know? Spread love, not hate. That's the message. Spread love, not hate. And keep hip stepping, man. Don't let nobody stop your hip step. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, salute to all my House of Hip Step peeps. We just rocked ATL. Peace and love to everybody that was there. You know, all of the hip steppers, all of the DMB heads, all of the bass heads, you know, who love this drum and bass, this jungle, this bass music, you know. Love all y'all too, man. Music evolutionaries, man. Salute to my man Top Gnosis, man, you know. Salute to the whole Nashville crew. You know what I mean? Love y'all though, man. Spread love, not hate.